Not gross at all. Oh, that's so good. Alright, so all month long we've been talking about wisdom. And wisdom is basically knowing what to do and doing it. So wisdom is knowing what I need to do to be able to live the right way God wants me to live and do it. Now, the very first week we talked about how it is not enough just to know what I'm supposed to do. That's just knowledge, right? You remember that? That's just knowledge. The difference between knowledge and wisdom was that I take what I know I'm supposed to do and I actually do it. That's right. So it's taking what I know and I do it. That's what wisdom is. Now today we're going to talk about how we can be wise based off of who we choose to listen to and who we hang out with. But before we get there, I have some pictures that I want Lucas to show. And I want you guys to figure out what the connection is between them all. So Lucas, can we see our first picture? So it's a pair of bell-bottom pants. Alright. What's our next picture? What's that? A fidget spinner. Alright. Alright, we got a fidget spinner. What's the next picture? How many of you guys actually know what those are? Like, no one knows except for maybe some of the adults. They look like clown pants. There was a rapper back in the 80s whose name was MC Hammer, and he wore pants just like that. In fact, that's what he danced in. But I'm pretty sure if I tried to dance in some of that, I would have to walk like this, because they're all the way down in here. So those are called MC Hammer pants. All right, what's the next picture, Lucas? What's that? A Rubik's Cube. Okay, we know what that is. And I think there's one more picture. There's a guy wearing skinny jeans. Kind of like not much difference in the jeans I'm wearing, except for his don't have rips and zippers in them. And they're all rolled up, and it looks really tight. So what do all of those things have in common?
They're all part of a time period.
She's close. They are all part of a time period. They were popular at one point in time, but then they were popular.
Yeah.
And they were popular again. So what's the name we use to describe something like that? Anybody know? What about a fad? It's a fad. All a fad is something that was popular like all at once. Like everyone's doing it. It is so cool, and then as quickly as it was popular, it is like not so popular. And then it may come up to be popular again later on down the road. Like right now, the jeans I'm wearing were totally popular in the 80s. And then they were popular, and now they're popular again. It's a fad. Now some fads are okay, right? Like what we wear, that's okay. Playing with the Rubik's Cube, that's okay. Fidget spinners, that's okay. I'm not so sure about MC Hammer pants. But other fads are not okay. Now we've heard about the Ice Bucket Challenge, right? Everyone knows about the Ice Bucket Challenge. That was a fad. Everyone was doing the Ice Bucket Challenge and posting their video to Facebook. But what about the Cinnamon Challenge? You guys ever heard of that one? After somebody has to take a spoonful of cinnamon and eat it? Do you realize that could kill somebody? Do you realize there are people in the hospital because they did it?
I'm so good.
There's a fad that got popular, but was not safe. In fact, it was a pretty stupid fad to do. The other one that I think of is the Tide Pod Challenge, where you have to eat one of those Tide detergent pods. I never understood that at all. But that's dangerous. That's like poison right there. But yet there are fads that get really, really popular and are safe and okay. But then there's ones that aren't really safe and aren't really okay. And I think that brings up an interesting point that we're going to go into the Old Testament and explore. The people that we allow to influence us make a difference in our lives. The people we allow to influence us make a difference in our lives. If I'm influenced by someone who's doing something really popular, but is really destructive or can hurt me, that's not safe. That's not something that I want to do. When we are listening to someone who's giving us wise advice, that's something that can influence us. That's a person that can influence and make a difference in our lives. But if we listen to someone who gives us not so wise advice, that's something that can hurt us. So we're going order where somebody, particularly a king, listened to truth, listened to advice that was not so good. So I need a king to volunteer for me. I need someone to be a king to come up and do this. I think I want to have Parker come up. Come on up, Parker. Parker's going to be my king. So, Parker, you're going to sit down. You feel comfortable? You good, Parker? All right, you feel kingly? You feel like you can command an army? All right, so Parker's going to be my king. So, Parker is going to be King Rehoboam. So let me give you some background on King Rehoboam right here. All right? You were Solomon's son. Solomon is the wisest man in the Bible, that the Bible says, and he wrote the book of Proverbs, which is a book of wisdom. Solomon had a son, his name was King Rehoboam. Now Solomon had a couple other people underneath of him when he was king. He dies, Solomon dies, King Rehoboam here becomes king. But somebody else in the Israelites was somebody that Solomon didn't like. He didn't like so much that he wanted to kill him. Now, he sounds like King Rehoboam's name, but he's not King Rehoboam. His name is Jeroboam. He was somebody that Solomon hated so much that he wanted to kill him. So, Jeroboam runs out of Israel and escapes to Egypt, and he stays in Egypt until Solomon dies. So, Solomon dies. Jeroboam is king.
No, it's Rehoboam.
No, I'm sorry. Thank you. Rehoboam is now king. And Jeroboam knows it's safe to come back to Israel. So that's the background of our story. And that's where our story is going to pick up right now. So Jeroboam, with all the Israelites, gets together. And they approach King Rehoboam. Can we see our first verse there, Lucas? It says this. Rehoboam went to the city of Shechem, and all the Israelites had gone there to make him king. Doesn't it feel good to be king? It feels good to be king, right? So, Jeroboam heard about it, and Jeroboam was in Egypt at that time. He had gone there for safety, remember, because Solomon wanted to kill him. He wanted to get away from King Solomon, but now he returned from Egypt, so the people sent for Jeroboam. Which should tell us one really, really important thing about Jeroboam. He must have been someone who was really prominent, really important to all the Israelites. So they send for him, and they all go to King Rehoboam. Now they want to have a discussion with him. Can we see our next verse, Lucas? Your father, here's a step. So Jeroboam goes up, and all the Israelites go with him, and they're talking to Rehoboam. They're all talking. So, they're begging you. They're talking to you. You get to choose what's going to happen, all right? All right. Your father put a heavy load on our shoulders. That'd be your father. But now make our work easier. Make the load on us lighter, then we're going to serve you. So you get a choice to make. You can make their load lighter, and they serve you. Sounds like a pretty good deal, right, King? Yeah, I think I'd be down for that. Okay, so that's what they say, and that's what they ask. And the king says, come back in 3 days, and I'll have an answer. So come back in 3 days, and I'll answer. I'll have an answer.
Come back in 3 days and I'll have an answer.
So, he gives it 3 days, which I think is not a bad idea. If you ever have a decision to make, and you want to make a wise choice, don't make it right away. Give it a couple of days, let it sit, let it mellow, and figure out what you're going to do. And then make a decision. It's a good choice, King. Hit me. Pound me. Good job. So the people went away. So the people go away, and King Rehoboam gets with a bunch of elders. So I need about 3 or 4 elders to come forward to be volunteers. You've got to have a mustache or a beard of some sort because these are old guys, all right? So, Addie, Jalen, or Madeline, come on up, Beth, and come on up. All right, here is your mustache, your mustache. You gotta come over here. You're talking to the king. You're over here talking to the king. Your mustache. Uh-oh. This you're gonna have to hold. It fell off. Your mustache.
Your mustache looks all so beautiful.
And you're gonna have a little goatee right here. All right. So right over here. So kneel down. You're in front of the king. Kneel. There you go. So King Rehoboam calls him the wisest of all Israel. And he probably knows the right choice to make, right? I think that's a good choice. Nice job. Way to go, King. So here's what the Bible says. Can we see our next verse there, Lucas? The Bible says this. Then King Rehoboam asked the elders for advice. And they had served his father Solomon while he was still living. Next verse. Then King Rehoboam asked the elders for advice. They had served his father Solomon while he was still living. And Rehoboam asked them, what advice can you give me?
What advice can you give me?
How should I answer these people?
How should I answer these people?
And listen to their reply. This is what they say. Next verse. They replied, be kind. Please them. Good deep voices. You're good. Give them what they are asking for. Then they will always serve you. Sounds good, right? Pretty good advice, you think, King? Think pretty good advice? All right. Well, here's what the king replied with. Can we see our next verse? Next verse after that one? Oh, I'm sorry. I must have missed one. Never mind. Go back one. Forget it. So anyway, the king says this to him. The king says, go away. I'm not going to accept your advice. I'm going to see what other people have to say. All right, wise ladies. Lay your beards down and goatees down over here and have a seat. Good job. Good job. Good job. I think they had some pretty wise advice, but for some reason, King Rehoboam said, it's not quite what I want. So then he asked for some of his buddies. He asked for some of his friends. Some of the people that were younger, they were more his age, they were hipper, they were cooler, they were like the coolest of the cool. So I need about 3 volunteers to come up for that. Come on up, come on up, and come on up. All right, dude, get up here, man. All right, all 3 of you, go up. All right, kneel down, kneel down, kneel down. Come on up, Brady. Come on, dude. All right, kneel down. All right. So these are your cool buds. They're like the hip of the hip. They're the coolest of the cool. You are. But Rehoboam did not accept the advice of the elders that they gave him. He asked for advice from the young men that had grown up with them. And so he wants to know, what do my hip friends think? And here's what they say. The young men who had grown up with them gave their answer. So Rehoboam says, what do you guys think?
What do you guys think?
And here's what they say. They replied, the peoples have said to you, your father put a heavy load on our shoulders. But I'll make it even heavier. My father beat you with whips. I'll beat you with bigger whips. No, with some gut. I'll beat you with some bigger whips. There you go. So basically, his young friend said, hey, we're going to make it twice as hard, and we're going to beat them with whips. You got a tough choice to make there, King. All right, thanks, guys. Have a seat. Boy, I wonder what the king's going to do. I wonder what the king would think about making that decision. That's a pretty tough choice, right? Either you give them what they want and they serve you, or you make their life twice as hard. I think the choice seems pretty obvious, don't you? I think the choice seems pretty obvious. Which one would you choose, King?
Make their life, well, be kind to them.
Be kind to them. So make their lives easier. Do what the elders said, right? King, do you realize you made the wrong decision in the Bible? You told me the right decision. But King Rehoboam in the Bible actually made the wrong decision. Have a seat, King. Good job. You reign. You rule. Here's the thing. The obvious answer, Parker had right. The obvious answer was, well, listen to what the wise people said. They knew what they were talking about. Make the wise choice. King Rehoboam said, I don't want to do that. You see, sometimes we want advice, but we want to hear what we want to hear. What I mean by that is this. And if somebody disagrees with that, I'm going to reject their advice, and I'm just going to go do with what I really want to do. And I'll go ask somebody I know is going to give me the answer I want to hear. That's basically what happened. Rehoboam listened to the wrong advice. He totally rejected the wise advice and went his own way. And here's where it all comes down, and it gets really important for you and I. I need everyone's eyes up here. Rehoboam made the wrong choice. And he made the Israelites' lives twice as hard. And because he did that, one choice, one moment in time, one choice, Israel split. You had a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom. And they warred and they fought. And it was really, really bad. People died. One decision caused a lot of heartache. One decision made his life really bad and really quick. One decision. You see, who we have influence us makes a significant difference on how we respond to different things in our life. When we make the wrong choice because of what somebody else has told us, or we allow somebody to influence us that consistently makes wrong choices, what kind of choices do you think you're going to make? Wrong choices. And while we won't probably ever make a choice like King Rehoboam had, none of us will probably be kings or queens. Every choice you make affects more than just you. Let me say that again so everyone hears that, guys, girls. Every choice you make does not affect just you. It affects those around you. It may not seem like it does, but it does. When you make a bad choice, and you allow someone to influence you in a not good way, it will affect somebody else in your family, one of your friends, somebody in church. You may feel like it doesn't, but I promise you, it does. We may not divide a nation. We may not cause war like we think about war. We may cause war in our family. We may cause war with friends. The decisions we make and who we allow to influence us makes a big difference in our lives. So who do you want to hang out with? Do you want to hang out with somebody that's going to give you good, solid advice? Or do you want to hang out with somebody that's going to give you just what you want to hear, or lead you on a direction that you know you're not supposed to go? I want to hang out with somebody that's going to give me some wise advice. I want to hang out with somebody that's going to help me make a wise choice. I thought this choice was obvious for Rehoboam. Obviously, even though it was obvious, he still made the wrong choice. And you know what, guys? Hey, we can make the wrong choice too. I've made the wrong choice several times. Even that I knew the right choice to make, I still made the wrong choice. And you guys can too. I don't want you to do that. I want you to make that wise choice consistently, trusting God. Here's the thing. You get to choose. You get to choose who you hang out with. You get to choose who you listen to. You get to choose who is an influence in your life. If somebody consistently is doing the wrong thing, why would you want to hang out with them? If there's someone that says, hey, I know my mom and dad said we're not allowed to watch a PG-13 movie, so we're just going to wait till they go to bed, then we're going to watch it. Does that sound like a wise choice? If someone of your friends says, hey, we're going to wait until mom and dad are not looking, and then we're going to watch what we really want to watch on YouTube, does that sound like a wise choice? No. And that's not a friend I want to hang out with, because they are influencing you to do something you know you're not supposed to do. Here's the thing. It makes a big difference who you hang out with and who you choose to allow to influence you. Proverbs 13:20 says this: walk with wise people and become wise. A companion of foolish people suffers harm. Here's what that means. You choose to hang out with people that consistently make wise choices, and that makes you wiser. You hang out with people that make the right choice, and you will make the right choice. You will be wiser as a result of it. You hang out with people that consistently don't make the wise choice. They're a bad influence on you. They consistently are going the direction you know you're not supposed to go. They make you dumber. Let's put it that way. That's the way it is. That's what that verse says. Foolish people, and it suffers harm. You hang out with people that do that, and that's what's going to happen to you. Now, does that mean that you can't hang out with somebody who's not a Christian, who's not a church person? Absolutely not. Because you are an influence to them. See, it goes the other way. You can influence them because of who lives inside of your heart. So you can influence them, and that's a fantastic thing. What I'm trying to get to you, though, and get you to understand is you cannot consistently hang out with them if you know they're going to make the wrong decision. And when you start to feel yourself being influenced by the decisions they're making, you need to put on the brakes right there in that friendship and say, I cannot go the same direction you are. Doesn't mean you can't be friends to them. Be kind to them. Doesn't mean you can't be an influence to them, but you've got to be able to have that boundary that says, you know what? You're just living a different way than I believe. I don't want to be a foolish person. I don't want to cause my family harm. I don't want to cause my friends harm because of a decision that I made because I was influenced by you. You get to choose. So here's what I want you to think about. Here's your question. Why does it matter who your friends are? We kind of talked about that. I want you to take that question home with you. Why does it matter who your friends are? Bow your heads with me. Jesus, we thank you so much for your word. We thank you for how it comes alive when we study it, when we read it, when we talk about it, when we teach about it, when we think about it, and how something that happened so many thousands of years ago still has a lesson to teach us today. Help us to make a wise choice. Help us to choose our friends wisely. Help us to choose those who influence us wisely. And help us to listen to wise advice and not listen to those that are trying to lead us the wrong direction. But help us also to be lights in the dark world so that we can be influences over them. And we can show them what real love is like. And that's you living inside of us. And we can show them your love. Protect us while we do that. But help us also to not be influenced by them when they're trying to lead us down the path we know we're not supposed to go. We love you, Jesus. And all God's kids said, amen. Let's head back to small group, guys. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that surprised me.